on HKIDC. I'm Clay Fong. Hong Kong is long known to be a shopping paradise for tourists. But even before tourism took off, the tailoring industry has already made a name catering to business travelers and servicemen from overseas. One shop is particularly famous as it boasts a clientele including former U.S. Presidents Bill Clinton, as well as the late Queen Elizabeth. Let's bring our guest today, Roshan Melwani, the third-generation successor of Sam's Tailor, who claims to be the walking persona of his Hong Kong business. So welcome to the show, Roshan.
Chloe, thank you so much for having me. I'm just delighted to be here today.
Right, it's great to also have the face-to-face interviews from now on. And also, at the beginning, could you just give us an overview of your family business? So how did it all start?
So I'm told that my grandfather, this is my father's father, came to Hong Kong in 1952. He worked at a tailor shop and after about 5 years, he had accumulated enough money on his own to open up his own shop in 1957, Sam's Tailor. Soon after that, he fetched for my grandmother, my dad, my aunt, and my uncle. And at a very young age, all three of his children started to work in the shop, and they built Sam's Tailor into what it is now.
And now you are the third generation of successor running this shop, right? You have been running this shop for over 20 years.
Yes, this is my 24th year on the job.
How do you feel about the journey so far?
It has been incredible. It's been so fulfilling. And I'm looking forward to the next 24 years. I know that sounds very cliched, but my journey and my role at Sam's is just so fulfilling. Every day is different. I get to work with virtually a different person every hour on the hour. At the end of my days, I have no need or sense to go out and talk to anyone further. I just want to come home and relax because I've just had the most fulfilling day.
And also, you know, in Hong Kong, it has so many different kind of tailor shops, right? What makes Sam's Tailor special then, comparing with others?
Well, I've never been to another tailor shop, so I don't know what goes on over there. All I know is that at our shop, our goal is to get inside our clients' minds, delve inside of them, and bring their vision to life. At Sam's Tailor, we do not dictate, we create. And I think people see that, they understand that, and that's why they come to us.
Interesting. And you know, also as I just mentioned in the beginning of the show, that your brand has such a whole range of clientele, including, you know, world leaders and celebrities, including Bruno Mars. Were there any interesting or like memorable experience tailoring for the world leaders or special customers?
We would need a lot more than half an hour to talk about all that. But I think for me personally, the most phenomenal thing was to work with 3 different US presidents. I first worked with President Clinton. And I
How old were you back then?
The first time I worked with him, I was only 23 or 24. So we're talking about, you know, over 2 decades ago. I then followed that up by working with President Bush Sr. 2 times, and then President Bush Jr. once as well, which was just a riot. To work with 3 different US presidents was so humbling, it just blew me away. I've been lucky enough to work with many A-list celebrities, including 3 different Oscar-winning actors and actresses, many captains of country, many other politicians. It's just phenomenal.
And also one of, the factor known for your brand is like it is very catering to customers' needs, right? And customers can also make their own notes for their suits as well.
Yes.
Did you ever receive, what are the kind of like memorable notes from customers as well?
Well, you know, I get asked something like this all the time, and every project is so different, so unique, because every project is about the individual's heart and their mind. I think one of the things that I wouldn't say I struggled with, but one of the things that was a challenge was to convince my team, especially considering that they're all Asian, is to make dresses for men. And Sam's Tailor has been an amazing hotspot for guys wanting to make dresses, guys wanting to make dresses, women's clothing, and so forth. We're almost a safe haven for that. So if you ask me, what are the quirky things that we do, what are the interesting projects that we do, there are so many, but making dresses for guys is just the most fun thing.
Right, and were there any, you know, the most challenging one that you feel so far?
I don't think there was a specific challenging project in terms of making the garment. It's actually very fun because we're all artists and we want to create unique things. It's more challenging convincing my team members to make the weird and wonderful things. Now, about 24 years ago, I was asked to make a suit but with short pants. I was then asked to make a suit but with short sleeves. And for me, this is cool. I love doing stuff like that. But to get my actual tailors and my consultants to come on board with me, that's a bit more of a challenge.
Right.
But now that I have everybody thinking out of the box, it's so much fun for everyone.
And speaking about the industry, you know, Hong Kong is known for its 24-hour suit. So a lot of tourists come to the city specifically for the speedy service of getting a suit.
Yes.
But over the past 3 years, as we all know, the pandemic has been quite challenging, quite a challenging situation for all of those kind of retail industry as well, including your industries. How have your business been doing over the past 3 years?
Well, my business, like many others, has been severely impacted by the pandemic in a negative way. But I've managed to reinvent myself and very, very quickly. So I use the free tools that are available to us to conduct business all around the world. Let's talk about overseas clients first. As we all know, because of our border closure, because of our stringent quarantine, many travelers did not come to Hong Kong for nearly 3 years. Now, they still needed clothes. I consulted with them using WhatsApp video, Skype, FaceTime, Zoom. Very, very simply, I used our shop phone to initiate a WhatsApp video call with them.
Right.
And then I hand my phone over to my staff member. They are videoing me, the client can see me, and then I'm in my element. I'm in my shop showing fabric, showing linings, discussing styles. Got sample jackets behind me, sample everything behind me, down to even buttons. And I brought the Sam Taylor experience to the client through a video call without them needing goggles or any strange or wonderful software. So I wouldn't say it's been seamless. It's been different, but it's been quick. I've been quick to adapt. I've been quick to reinvent myself. I've been quick to pivot. It doesn't compensate for the business that we've lost from business travelers, but it does supplement what we have, which is a very dynamic environment.
Right. Now, I also know that you actually have a lot of followers online as well that you built up through the past years as well. How has these, new kind of presence, online presence, have been, supplementing your overall sales? I mean, for example, for online sales, how much a proportion would it account for?
Well, it's a small proportion, but it is a huge, huge impact. Okay, we suddenly have followers everywhere. From the start of the pandemic, I went from virtually 0 followers on TikTok to 520,000 followers now inside 3 years. It's been amazing. There are people all over the world who are just loving what I do. Whether it's seeing me side by side with a client talking about the client's new suit or new outfit, or seeing me live stream a consultation or presentation with a client anywhere around the world. People are suddenly very, very, very interested. And social media and our live streaming capabilities and the free technology that's available to everyone has enabled me to create a worldwide window into Sam Taylor. And when you get that sort of reach, when it's not paid reach, when people themselves are tuning in on their own accord, then stuff's going on in their mind all the time. They become curious, and eventually they want to pull the trigger. So it's had an absolutely magnificent and wonderful impact. I get to work with people all over the world who I've never met.
So in a sense, it also, attracted new customers.
Most definitely.
Right.
New customers from everywhere, especially from the United States, who'd never even thought of making a suit before, but were suddenly attracted to the process and the output. So they enjoyed seeing other people go through this wonderful journey with me in picking out fabrics and styles. It's a more first generation sort of experience than what people are trying to accomplish with the metaverse. We don't have goggles, we don't have AI, we just have WhatsApp video or FaceTime.
Right. And how was your father's reaction towards this kind of new approach of rebranding your business as well, your family business?
I think he's very excited. I think with anything new, people are a bit more reserved, especially when it's not their own idea. So he asked me to be cautious. He asked me to be cautious, especially with the whole world watching. But I think he's really, really pleased with me now. I mean, we are reaching hundreds of new people every single day without having to spend any sort of marketing outlay. It's literally with the tools that are already available to us.
And also, Roshan, give us an brief overview of when we were having this kind of pandemic situation, how bad the situation was like for your business.
It was terrible. So when the pandemic started, we went days on end without any customers at all. Okay, over here people were afraid to come out. With regards to the border closure, everyone knows nobody could come into town. Slowly that got worse and worse and worse. Offices both here and abroad were closed, so people had no need to wear a suit. Suddenly here we couldn't have graduation, we couldn't have weddings, we couldn't have balls. There was no need to make a suit or a jacket or a dress.
Social distancing rules.
Social distancing, etc., etc., etc. But the global population is huge. People still need clothing. So we were not dead, we were not buried, we were just hurting, okay? I used my persona, I used my videos, I used my incredible output, just the gorgeous, glorious outfits that I make day after day to attract people. And here and there, we helped to stem the bleed. And believe me, we were bleeding, we still are, but we helped to stem the bleed and keep going, attract new clients, show people that we were still in business. I mean, the global eyeballs that we got during this period were huge, bigger than ever before, when the free flow of clientele was virtually a tsunami at many given points. So I think we've done great. We may not have succeeded financially the way we had done in previous years, but in terms of eyeballs, in terms of marketing, in terms of getting people, different people who have never heard of us before, heard of bespoke tailoring before, I think that's a testament to what I do.
Right, it's definitely about renovating new channels as well.
100%, and you picked the right word there.
I will need to pause you right here for now. We'll take a short break, but coming up next, we'll have more discussions over the city's retailing business, so do stay tuned.
Surviving a catastrophe. 3 persons trigger suspicion.
The water's contaminated.
How to choose. Z for Zachariah. Tonight at 9 on Hong Kong International Business Channel.
City University of Hong Kong produced a series called Beyond Boundaries, Dialogue with Presidents of World's Leading Educational Institutions. Professor Wei Kuo, President of City University of Hong Kong, talks to presidents of universities and principals of high schools around the world. Saturday at 10 p.m. on HKIBC.
收到，收唔到，收到，收唔到。電話儲值卡實名登記，限期係2月23號。未登記，限期後就用唔到，到時候邊度都收唔到㗎啦。仲等？電話卡實名登記，簡單、方便、快捷。透過電信商網頁、流動應用程式、門市或18間指定郵政局都可以免費登記。上咗台嘅月費服務用戶就唔使再登記。身邊有老友記搞唔掂嘅，你就要幫下手啦。
Welcome back to All About Money on HKIBC. I'm Chloe Truong. Joining us today is Roshan Mawani, the 3rd generation successor of Sam's Tailor. And we will talk more about the city's tailoring business over the past 3 years, as well as the recovery status right now. And in the previous section, we have briefly, had an overview about the business situation during the challenging time of the pandemic. And now, a lot of things have changed as well. With the border now being reopened and more people are resuming to face-to-face work lifestyle as well. Did you see a surge in demands and orders after all of those kind of scrubbing of those social distancing measures?
Unfortunately not.
No?
But I think it will come. So I have seen a micro uptick. Okay, maybe one person every other day from abroad. Every day I will see someone new who is a person, who are people that have come back to renew their ID card, okay? Because they were away for 3 years or just under 3 years or just over 3 years. Every day I will see someone who had existing business here, who can finally return. I am not seeing a regular tourist, I'm not seeing a family coming out for vacation, I'm not seeing a big conference that has decided to use Hong Kong for a week to hold their festivities. I am not seeing people come for flyaway weddings. I am not seeing mainland tourists come in a huge surge yet, regardless of whether it be in my store or on the streets when I walk around both in Kowloon or Hong Kong Island, which is unfortunate. But that doesn't mean I don't have the great belief that we are nearly there. We just need to work harder, continue to work the way we are, our government, us as individuals, us as businesses, in getting our message out there that Hong Kong is open and Hong Kong is back. Now, we didn't go anywhere, okay? We just had to fight this global pandemic. We're done doing that and we're back to normal and people are gonna love it just like the way they had before. The thing is that when you disappear for 3 years,
Right.
okay, people are gonna forget about you. It doesn't mean that you're worse or you're bad or you've lost your touch or you've lost your magic. It's just that people are going to forget about you. You disappeared for 3 years. It's everybody's responsibility, not just the government's, okay? Multinational companies, small businesses like mine, journalists like you. It's everybody's responsibility to remind the world that Hong Kong is back. If we can all align that, rather than just waiting for the government to do something, if we can get on board, do what I do. And I've been saying Hong Kong is here for the last 3 years. I broadcast every single day. I live stream without fail. So in terms of me, if I can do this as a one-man show, then if we all pitch in, we will remind the world who we are and how magical we are.
And now, the government is also launching this kind of new campaign of Hello Hong Kong to the world, signaling that we're back in business. But also, tell us, how is your business been recovering so far? I mean, you said there's marginal improvement. But
Marginal,
yeah,
correct.
give us a sense about that.
Look, when you're starving, okay, and you get fed a little bit, okay, you're going to have a smile on your face. So marginal improvement is a good thing, okay? When you get hungry and you have a sniff for more, you will work harder to satiate that hunger, to satisfy that hunger. And I think this marginal improvement, in fact, I know this marginal improvement will be infectious for everybody. So the surge, as you put it, the wave, we're nearly there.
How long do you think your business will be, recovered to this kind of like full capacity, to its heydays?
Okay.
Like before the
So
pandemic, how long do you think it might
I
take?
don't think it will ever recover to its heyday, okay? I just don't think that's possible because what the pandemic taught us is there are many, many, many different ways to work, okay? And you don't need to go into an office, you don't have to wear a suit Monday to Friday. People were already thinking of this for a long time. What the pandemic has done is it has shown us that we can communicate and we can operate and we can coexist in many different ways using the technology that's already available to us. That's what the whole world did. So I don't think that the business will go back to its heyday, okay? That doesn't mean we cannot continue to be successful, all right? I have proven, my business has proven that we can satisfy people's outfit needs, clothing needs, in any which way you can imagine. You simply look at all the videos on my Instagram and see the weird and wonderful and iconic things that I make day in, day out. It doesn't have to be business suits, okay? If we look at statistics, right? People are always interested in statistics. Look, if I'm doing 80% as well, or 70% as well, as I was pre-pandemic, then I'm still doing pretty good. If I can get myself back to that, I'll be very happy. So I don't think that Hong Kong will fully recover. But that doesn't mean I'm pessimistic. I think we were doing so good before that if we can get to 70 or 80% of that level, we will still be very, very happy, okay? And I think we will reach that well before the end of the year. The government has a massive plan. And because it's so large, it will take time to roll out. So it will take time for us to feel that effect. Let's get through Easter. Let's finish the Rugby Sevens. The summer will be over. Hong Kong will be back.
That sounds very inspiring as well. And also, we know that it also takes time
Yes.
to have this kind of reconnection.
100%. People need to be patient and need to work hard.
Another issue is that your business, you mentioned that many tailors have shut down during the past 3 years, but your brand survived and didn't have any cut off the staff.
I think what we did was we put everybody on a 4-day week instead of a 5 or 6 day week. Everybody was very understanding and is still understanding. We have now put everybody back to a 5-day week and understand our week is a 6-day week. We are retail, so we are Monday to Saturday. So at the height of it all, there was no way that we could afford to keep everyone on on their 6-day week salaries. So everyone took a bite. We were very good to them before. They've been very good to us before and during. We hopefully will all get back to that same level.
How many tailors do you have for now?
Oh gosh, sometimes I lose count. Dozens. I have a lot of tailors.
Right.
I have a lot of tailors. That landscape has changed dramatically over the last 2 decades because just not enough people are growing up to want to be a tailor. So when I first joined my business, I had nearly 100 tailors, and now I probably have half of that.
Quite a lot, and,
Yes.
and also a huge reduction as well.
Yes, a huge
Yes.
reduction, but like I said, they were very good to us and they worked very hard for us during our heydays. And it's our responsibility, it's our moral and social responsibility to continue to look after them.
Did you also see a very significant rise and fall for the tailoring business in the city as well over the past decades, as you just mentioned?
So I think the biggest fall has been COVID. The fall started with the social unrest in 2019. That was a tough second half of the year for us. And then the biggest fall came from COVID. Global work from home for virtually 24 months had a severely negative impact on our business sales. That doesn't mean that it had a negative impact on our business persona. Okay, and this is what's important to understand. If I sat still and did nothing, I may not be here with you right now. But because I did not sit still and I continue to evolve my business and my brand, I would say that I've come out of the last 3 years being a resounding success, even though the financial figures don't show it.
Financial figures is still, we need to care about that as well, isn't
We
it?
need to care about that, but sometimes you have a startup company, okay, and you need to feed that baby before that baby can grow. And this was a rebranding experience for us. It was a complete rebranding experience. We had to suddenly, if we wanted to survive, we would have to touch overseas clients in a completely different way, which we've done, and touch local clients in a different way by showing to local customers that it's not just suits, okay, that we don't just work with men. We can make anything for men and for women. And we've proven that. So it's been a massive rebranding exercise, okay? And we have bounced back. Even before the border reopening, we saw numbers start to peel up.
And also, Roshan, what about the government, for example, assistance over the past 3 years as well? And we are going to have the budget soon as well. If you have a chance to propose some suggestions to the financial secretary, what kind of a suggestion you would give to him in, also on behalf of your business, your industry as well?
Okay, so I would recommend the financial secretary and the rest of the government to throw all their resources towards a global campaign to bring everyone back to Hong Kong. And I'm not just talking about tourists from the rest of the world or from our motherland, China. I'm talking about business tourism. The big companies, Pricewaterhouse, KPMG, Goldman Sachs, come and have your conferences here. I'm talking about people in any given industry, whether it be the catering industry, the art industry. Have your events here. Stay with us. Bring people in. Not just the people, but the business and the business ventures. Can we open your offices here, whether it be a family office or a regional office in any other industry? We need to get Hong Kong relevant again in the global workplace's eyes. And the first step is to get businesses to come out here, whether it's a convention or setting up an office. And that will infect tourism. The trickle-down effect will be huge. And I think the government's on the right track. In fact, I know we can see it in the headlines every day. We can see what the government's doing. They need to be very confident in their current approach. They're doing an amazing job and go full
Free
force ahead.
tickets for,
Free tickets for everybody is a great idea.
right.
Whether people get the free tickets or not, okay? Whether people come or not, it's irrelevant. The whole world is talking about the free tickets to Hong Kong. That is already a huge win for the government. You've got to give the government credit. They're doing an amazing job.
Another issue would be, some people are also concerning about the whole industry's long-term prospect as well. For example, some people are worried that the tailoring business is kind of like a dying art.
Okay.
How would you respond to those kind of
So
voices?
people have been predicting the demise of the tailoring industry since the 1990s, okay? Let's go back to Bill Gates and Microsoft and dress down Fridays and wearing a shirt and chinos to work. People have been talking about the death of the suit for over 30 years and it has not happened. Okay? Businesses die if you do not reinvent yourself. Businesses don't survive if you do not evolve. If you are hungry, you don't need to be intelligent. You just need desire. I've proven that. My father before me has proven that. We continue to evolve as a business and we will continue to thrive, not just survive.
All right. Thank you very much for your sales, Roshan, today. That's a wrap for today, and we hope that the city's tailoring business will really kick off following the reopening of the borders. And thank you for watching All About Money. We'll be back next Sunday night on HKIBC at 8:30 p.m. So until the next time, please have a good night.